All right, welcome to Filipino Car Talk, or FCT for short. My name is Neil Santiago. This is Justin Dizon. The purpose of our channel is to just share our experiences from a Filipino perspective on the car culture, and share our thoughts with you guys and get your input on some of our real life scenarios when it comes to cars and finances and whatever else we might talk about. So that's a little brief description of our channel. Justin, you want to start off with an intro of yourself?
Yeah, so I'm based in Arizona. I started off with like a Volkswagen S40 or something back like 1993.
Dang.
It was like out of college. And then I used my dad's Honda Pilot until I got my first like actual car. Even though Honda Pilot's pretty cool.
So the Volvo was a hand-me-down from your
No,
parents?
the Volvo was like a hand-me-down from a coworker that sold it to me for like $100.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Oh, and that's how I learned manual.
Mm.
And then I got a Toyota 86 when I moved back to Phoenix. And I love that car. I sold it for the LC that you see on your screen. Oh, and I also got my other dream car, the IS300. And then my wife has a Lexus RX. So we are specifically Lexus right now, which is baller, but
Yeah.
also not as cool as Neil's cars. So Neil,
I don't know about that. But if y'all couldn't already tell, Justin's cars are at the top of the screen in that picture. My cars are at the bottom. Our backgrounds, he's in front of a Lexus dealership and I'm in front of a Toyota dealership. So that pretty much says what we're biased to or attracted to the most.
yeah,
So,
I would say it just speaks who we are. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we like a lot, especially you, Neil. Like you've been through so many cars. I feel like there's something about these cars that you've kept for a while now. So you're like, this speaks who I am, and it's weird. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because I could have bought a lot of different cars with the LC money, but it just landed on that, right?
same. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll give some background on myself. Neil Santiago, I am located in the New York City area. More specifically, I just moved out to Long Island, but I grew up in Far Rockaway, Queens. So born and raised New York City. My first car was a hand-me-down from my parents that they bought brand new. First owner was a 1993 Toyota Corolla wagon, which is what started my obsession with Toyota in the first place.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So long story short, I've had a ton of cars. I won't list them all today, but as we, talk more about our past experiences, I'll list them out. But more currently, I have a 1994 Toyota Supra. It is an NA, unfortunately, just because it was within my budget at the time. I got the car, I don't know, 5 years ago for 23,500, so somewhere around there. So, given its condition, it's pretty bone stock and in mint condition for that price. I think was well worth the money. Right-hand drive imported, so takes some getting used to. But I had a Skyline before this, so I was already exposed to the right-hand drive nature. And then the second car you see, even though it says Lexus on the trunk, is a 1997 Toyota Aristo that I just recently purchased. This is my daily, which I replaced my other daily, which was a 1995 Toyota Corolla wagon. And why I had that is because, like I mentioned, that was my first car growing up. So this is what I currently have in my fleet. I've got two Harleys as well. I'm a Harley Davidson guy as well, but yeah, that's my background.
Yeah. So as we all know, Neil's the baller in the group.
Yeah. Says the guy with the LC, but yeah.
And this is my reasoning behind it. It was like I go back and forth about the LC. It's like I wanted to put. It was like I have extra money. I want to put all the money into one car. I'm at an age where I have a family and I don't want to work on cars as much. I'm still a
Mhm.
car guy, guys. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the LC was that. You know what I mean? It's just
Mhm.
like bought it, and then I had an itch to modify it a little bit, and it's perfect as is. While Neil's like the opposite, which I would always consider back and forth selling the LC in the sense of just like sell LC and buy a bunch of cool old JDM cars
I think I told you this
and
all
just
the
have
time.
a bunch
I think
for
I tell
fun.
you this all the time, but it's like I I love old cars like this, but you every time you make a purchase like this, you deal with old car problems. And that's I tell people that a lot. It's like, yeah, these cars are cool, but at the end of the day, they're old cars, right? So if you're driving them, you got to
Yeah,
deal with maintenance, the risk of breaking down somewhere.
yeah.
So I mean,
But we'll also hear from a financial perspective, right? It's
mhm,
like
mhm.
Neil literally got both of these two cars on the bottom for half the price of my LC, which is incredible. So like if you're like we're I guess what target audience that we want to see is or focus on is definitely like normal people and normal financial situations and how do car guys do it with other day-to-day lives. You know what I mean? Like, because cars are expensive. So we just want to like help like review cars, car finances, and if the car is worth what people are paying for it today.
Yeah.
So when Neil bought the Aristo, it was crazy because he got a deal. Like that is that engine is better than his Supra, and it's literally for under 20K. Like
Yeah.
it's impossible to find
Yeah.
a car that cool for under 20K. So maybe we're biased on things. I don't know. I just think it's the best daily ever because I have an IS300, but it's old. It I haven't taken care of it at all.
No.
It's it needs some work, but I'm always like financially like, do I put more money into an older car? Never gonna see it back. That type of situation.
Yeah, no, and like you said, like we're talking to that average person who is conscious about finances, but also into the car scene. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, I bought.
Oxymoron there. You just said
Yeah,
car
yeah, it's
person as financial, but we're trying to be as financially
responsible as
responsible
possible.
with liking cars, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to buy your car, but you have to also think about like there's other things that you can do to like not be
Right,
super in like not financially responsible.
right. And for example, like going back to the Supra, I got it for a crazy good deal, and more of the reason is because it's right-hand drive and non-turbo. But at the time, I don't know, I was mid 20s. I was living within my means also. I didn't want to drop, I don't know, what was it, 60, 70,000 at the time for, the twin turbo USDM
Yeah,
Supra, right? So it's like,
yeah.
well, I could go into major debt right now and just send it and, finance an $80,000 1997 car, or I can live within my means, still have a cool car, and still be able to, feed myself at the end of the day.
So there's an ongoing saying. Me and Neil have been friends for like 2 years now, and there's always this Neil deal, and I aspire to be Neil. The problem with me is that I bought an LC that's depreciating still a little bit, and I'm like, I just hope it becomes like the Super where Neil buys it like basically at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And then it went up, and now it's worth. I personally think will value at 60K. So yeah, it's just crazy how I aspire to find Neil deals, and Neil just sends me like the reason why I have TEs on my IS300 is because of Neil. Because we got
And so for the record, the way I find these so-called Neil deals is I'm addicted to Marketplace. So every minute of the day, I'm opening Marketplace and I just check just to see what's out there. But the LC, I don't know too much about the motor or anything like that or specs, but people need to understand what kind of car that is. Like
Yeah.
I slept
I
on
don't
the
even
LC.
understand. I don't even understand the car it is.
I
I don't
admit,
even drive it. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
I admit I was asleep on the LC 500 until Justin bought it, and I looked into it more and more, and it's its own car in its own class. Like
Yeah.
best bang for buck. I think it's a
Wow,
beast.
you're
It looks
crazy.
good.
You're crazy. It's not best bang for buck.
The body's timeless already, and then like I said, right, it's what the Toyota Mark V Super should have looked like or been. Like
Yeah, agreed.
That's the car. You know?
Yeah,
so people need to wake up.
But
soon.
dude, yeah, and then we're just like, hey guys, this is our first video, but like if we grow and we're gonna just buy cars together because we're addicted to cars. If we ever make money off this.
And if you subscribe, we're gonna raffle off the LC500.
Hey, I'll raffle it. If we start selling shirts like TJ, have you seen TJ Hunt's like new like facility and stuff? I'm like, dang, that guy's the goal, you know? Yeah, so hopefully like with like this channel, I know that I just started a family. I've been married to my wife for 3 years now. And yeah, so it's like my cars will be changing in a sense of, or car wants per se, just because of family, right? Because like you realize once you have a kid that 2 doors don't work. It just doesn't work. Like I thought like, yeah, I'll be fine, whatever, 4 seats, whatever. No, it just doesn't. It literally doesn't. Like I literally view my LC as a toy. I view both my cars as a toy. I feel like the only reliable car is my wife's car. Like,
which
as
is
a forever car.
What year is it? 2018? No, your wife's
2017. Yeah.
2017.
Yeah. And see, people don't understand. I'm just like a different type of car guy. I love the Lexus RX. Yes, it's a woman's wife car. Women's car, women drive that car. When I sit in that RX, I love the RX. It's practical. It doesn't use premium gas. It freaking carries stuff. It is a little bit small, but it's the perfect car.
I get you. I think we had this conversation recently. We said that any compact SUV or maybe midsize is kind of a girl's car. But I get what you're saying because I had a 2019 BMW X3, and I love that car. But that's one of the girliest, like in my opinion, girliest compact SUVs you could have.
But there's a reason why girls buy it, or most people buy
Comfy.
it. Yeah, it's like not too big. It's not too small. It's like the perfect size, and that's why SUVs are like killing it. You know.
Yeah.
So like screw these nice beautiful old JDM cars that we should just sell them all for minivans.
But unfortunately, being a car guy, you think you're gonna move in that direction, and you might maybe buy a nice reliable minivan, but you're still gonna want your IS300. You're still gonna want the old JDM car at the end of the day.
Yeah. When I sold the 86, I do miss it, but since I have the LC, it's worth it.
Your 86 was sick too. You're talking it down. It was supercharged. It was clean.
Yeah, it was dope. It was a good car. My little brother thinks the 86 sounds better than the LC. Who doesn't like cars? Like he just likes the.
Yeah.
While like V8 muscle, it's different. It's a different vibe. But my brother doesn't appreciate cars, so it's different. It's a different person,
I get it. But
what you dislike about cars? I'm gonna just start off. I think everyone's dislike about cars is expense, right? Finances, right? How expensive it is.
I feel like that's needless to say. Should that even count? I don't know.
I know, but like if you think about any hobby out there, like it shouldn't be that expensive. Like we chose the most expensive hobby.
So being Filipino, I was obviously into sneakers, and yes, that was expensive, but not as expensive as.
Oh yeah, sneakers. You're like $200. Oh, that's expensive in shoes, which is nothing.
Yeah. So I guess in relative comparison, cars are a lot more money, but
yeah, like video games. Like I don't even play that many video games anymore, and it's like man, video games is a bang for a buck. Buy it one time. I guess cars. Oh, the one thing I hate. Everyone dislikes about cars. Car insurance, which I just saved $150.
Did you switch?
Yeah. So I switched from Geico to Progressive, and now supposedly I have to switch back after like 3 years to like keep the same.
They keep increasing your.
Okay. Well, I'm down for that. I'm like I was paying $400 a month for the LC, all three cars, and I don't even drive. I work from home. Like I don't even drive my cars. $400 a month. So you could do the math there.
Yeah.
It just, I think that's the thing. Like, I just don't like that about cars.
Insurance is another whole big scam topic that we could talk about, but
is it a scam? I'm just kidding. I think it's a scam.
Partly.
All right.
Partly.
What else you don't like about cars?
More recently, especially with the Supra, is the longer you let them sit, stuff just breaks just because they're sitting, which I learned the hard way. So,
dang,
letting your car sit and not using it is probably just as bad as like, if not more worse.
Putting miles on it.
Yeah,
like
putting
a lot of miles
and
on
using it every day.
Yeah. See, a lot of people are gonna hate on us because, at least for me, I don't drive my cars. I go to Cars and Coffee once a month. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in Arizona, like Barrett Jackson's coming up this weekend, so there's gonna be a lot of more car events. But then it's not like that every month, so I just drive it on the weekends, if that, or maybe don't even drive it. And I should drive it because it'll break, right, Neil? That's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like if my car just sat there for 20 years, so because I want to keep it reliable and whatever, I don't know. You might be right on like.
I feel like the age also plays a part too. Like I think if you let your LC sit for a year, it wouldn't be as bad as me letting the Supra sit for a year because my car is just old, you know? So they probably, build quality is probably different.
Yeah.
But like, not everyone has an LC 500, so. For the people who have old cars, you know what I'm talking about. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so bad for the car.
So people think like, we talk about, we're average people. We are. I feel like we're above average. I would say so. But I know a lot of people out there, and this is bad financial advice, that I was like, okay, I could either buy my dream car, which is the LC500 today, or wait till I'm 60 to buy a car like this, right? Like, I have the opportunity to do it, and I don't know if it was worth, like, from a financial standpoint, no one would ever tell you, like, hey, drop 80 grand on an LC, like a car specifically, a sports car, you know? But like, it was just like YOLO, you know, I want to enjoy it when I'm 30 to 60. And I don't even think, like, hopefully if this car lasts till I'm 30 years old, then, you know.
In my opinion, for the people listening who's wondering, should I drop 70,000 on my dream car right now? I think it's okay that you did it just because you have your family and your house already. Like,
yes.
For those people still living, you know, in your mom's basement, that's fine, but don't also buy an $80,000 car. Right?
Yeah.
You have your priorities straight.
Yeah. Agreed. What's it called? You have those memes where it's like, oh, saved 100 grand. This is my next. Save 100 grand for a car, a house, and then you bought an LC 500 or a Porsche 911, right? C8 instead of a house. Yeah, house is the play because you're gonna need a house. And I know a lot of people our age don't have houses, so we're super blessed to be that way. But like,
although I will say, even though I just gave that advice, I bought my Toyota Supra when I was still at my mom's house, so it wasn't $70,000 though. So
yeah, exactly. No. Yeah,
you got to live within your means.
Yeah, my 86 was 23, and I was living with my parents at the time. And I remember my dad telling me, like, you're out of the house if you buy something crazy. Like, because obviously, if you're living at home, you could afford more things, you know? But, yeah. What happened? Yeah, I agree.
I'd say just live within your means and still have some sense of prioritization in your life because I love cars. I'm addicted, but at the end of the day, you still need to have your life straight.
Yeah. These are for the people that have their finances like in order to like achieve it, and then someone's like, "Oh, I have money left over, and I could buy a Toyota Supra for 40K." I would say pull it, but like I understand that a lot of people don't have the extra money and they don't have all the other stuff in play.
Yeah.
So, for example, this year, I told Neil, like, I don't think I'm going to do much car things except, like, go to events and stuff. I'm like, past that phase of, like, modding the car. You know what I mean? Like, I just need to focus on other things with, like, vacationing. So.
And more specifically, where to?
Disney for sure. I love it.
Which, for the people watching, I haven't really been to Disney, so I don't know what the whole buzz is about.
Yeah,
But Justin swears by it. So.
It's different because I have a kid and he doesn't. So
I don't have kids.
yeah, we're planning to go to Disney in March, so it'll be a good time. And my daughter is 5 months old, so she'll be at Disney twice within a year.
Before being one.
Let's go. But I do it per calendar year, you know, one last year, one this year, you know, and then next year, you know.
I get it.
I guess since I've achieved like car stuff, I just want to start enjoying the car. You know what I mean?
That's
like
fair.
I don't want to. That's the reason why I sold the 86 because I built it, I made it my own, and now I'm like kind of out of that phase.
That's a big reason why, because a lot of people. So when I tell people I have an NA, they say, "Okay, well, when you gonna turbo it?" Well, and I'm like, "Well, I'm probably not gonna because I just want to enjoy the car right now." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can jump in the car anytime and drive it.
But like from a financial, when you do the numbers, is it even worth turboing it? Probably not, honestly.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Probably not.
How much is a 10K, right? And then
I probably had to invest a good like 10, 15K.
10, 15K?
To do it right. To do it right.
Yeah, you had to do it right, especially on your baby. But then like...
Maybe even more, to be honest. Like 20K.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not going to be worth like...
Yeah. Why would you do that?
100 grand.
Buy an Aristo. It's so real.